So going ahead with the humanities, we saw that humanities includes the history, archaeology, sociology, anthropology. Anthropology means the history or the study of people, okay, how people lived and their lifestyle. That study is known as anthropology. Then the political science, economics, all these fields, okay, studying about the human and how they lived. This is known as humanities. Now all the disciplines, that is all these fields, have got their own origin, and ancient people all over the world, they always try to speculate in order to understand the relationship between the universe and human existence. Speculate means to show some curiosity, to make their own some theories, to make some investigation. And because of that, it gave rise to various mythological stories about the origin of this world. कि ये world कैसे बना था? Okay, who first came? Nobody has seen that. But this is all the stories what the older people have made, and that is what we are reading and we are kind of believing. Okay. Then the universal order, that is human life, God, goddess, then the rituals. Okay. Then all the philosophical explanation behind those rituals. How we are knowing, why we are doing this? Because we are being told by our parents, and they are very told by their parents. So these all things where we don't have proof, but it is being carried out from long generations. Now roots of this philosophical ponderings. Ponderings का मतलब होता है thoughts. Okay? जब आदमी सोचने बैठता है, then all these thoughts comes into him. So pondering means to think. Are to be found in the mythological stories. You read the mythological stories, you see there are so many variations, in them. Various disciplines under humanities have theoretical foundations based on philosophical theories. And all these, whatever we come to know from our history, they are all based on philosophical theories. That is because that time the man used to think like this. That is why in those stories you will find that particular, you can say, some moral or some values in them. Only historical knowledge can help us in understanding these developmental stages. Okay. Next, coming to the applied history and our present. Now many people ask that what is the practical value of history? What are we going to get by studying history? But it is a fact that everyone is very much curious to know their history. Are you not curious to know about your forefathers, okay? Or during the age of, freedom struggle, who was there from your family at that time? What was their contribution? So everybody is curious to know about their own history. Why? Because your history will represent your thoughts and your traditions of your ancestors. It is our heritage, it is our property, it is something of which we can feel proud of. And it is our identity also. The history of our heritage links us with our origin. Suppose in your particular origin there is some very famous personality, okay, many years ago, but still today you are going to tell that proudly that yes, I belong to this particular family. So it becomes necessary for us to preserve and conserve all our ancestral belongings, all our heritage, because they act as our identity. वो हमारा पहचान है. Now applied history is concerned with the preservation and conservation of our heritage and making it accessible to people. Now, for example, you take the Red Fort, the forts and the palaces, okay? Now suppose if you are not going to preserve them, what is the use? You just can't tell, oh, that Taj Mahal, it was once upon a time, it was there in India. Now today also people all over the world come to see it. So you have to preserve it. Now heritage management creates opportunities of employment. In brief, applied history can be described as understanding of our present. And if you try to manage your heritage, suppose I am taking the example of Taj Mahal or the Red Fort. Now there are people, there are guides over there are managers who take care of the people who are coming and going out. Then there are some people sitting outside there selling certain things. So it is a kind of employment it gives. So applied history can be described as understanding of our present with the help of the history and finding the right direction for the benefit of our future. So what is applied history? Applied history means trying to understand our present situation by studying the past events so that we can have a good future. Next, coming to the management of cultural and natural heritage. Now, cultural heritages can be divided into two. And this cultural heritage is a form of human creation. It is made by the human. And it is into two types: tangible cultural heritage and intangible. Tangible is what you can see, what you can touch, that is the sites, the buildings, the architectures, the manuscripts, what is written, the sculptures, paintings, etc. All these things that you can see from your eyes, the one you can touch, is known as tangible cultural heritage. And those which you cannot touch, they are known as intangible, like all the oral traditions and the language, the songs, then the knowledge, traditional knowledge, then the customs, rituals of the festivals, how we celebrate, styles of the performing arts, that is a dance, music, singing, then some traditional skills of weaving and all that, and the communities and the groups who represent such traditions, custom and skills. There are a group of people performing only Kathakali. Okay, so there is a community who does this particular art form of Kathakali. So they all form our intangible cultural heritage. Now after cultural heritage, coming to the natural heritage. Now cultural heritage was man-made. Natural heritage is not man-made. It is given by the nature. So here what all do you have? You have the fauna, flora, ecology. Fauna means all the animals that are present. Flora means all the flowers. Ecology means all the water, mountains, trees, all these things, the ecosystem. And the geomorphic. Geomorphic is whatever is present on the earth. These characteristics of a particular region is known as natural heritage. And it is essential for the benefit of the future generations to prepare our heritage. What we will be giving to our future generation if we don't preserve it, if we don't take care of it. So, and UNESCO is one global organization, universal organization that has announced some directives. उसने कुछ rules and regulations बनाए हैं so that we can take care of our heritage. It is your responsibility to take care of the heritage. And some कुछ ऐसे sites हैं which have been declared as World Heritage by them. And next we'll be seeing in the next video what are the list of these World Heritage. And in that list now includes the Western Ghats also. And in Maharashtra there is a district Satara. Satara's Kaf Plateau is a part of the Western Ghats. And this Western Ghats has been declared as a World Natural Heritage by the UNESCO. I'm giving you all one activity to find out the full form of UNESCO.